in France, that these attackers were connected, and that some of them had connections back to Al-Qaeda, certainly in Yemen. One of the Kouachi brothers believed to have trained with Al-Qaeda in Yemen in 2011. Perhaps even both brothers trained with the group. And the brothers may also have met with Anwar al-Awlaki, the American terrorist cleric, who was someone determined to recruit people like the Kouachi brothers for attacks back in the West. They were also mentored by this guy, Beghal, and Beghal was very much part of the Al-Qaeda setup in Afghanistan before 9/11. He was recruited by senior Al-Qaeda leaders to launch an attack on the U.S. Embassy in France after 9/11. The attack was going to be after 9/11. He was recruited before 9/11. He was actually directed in bin Laden's house to launch that operation, Don, though he does not seem to have met bin Laden himself. Since then, Beghal has been in and out of prison. He's in prison right now.
6 terror suspects still on the loose, Colonel Reese. How urgent is this manhunt? How dangerous are these 6 suspects if they are still, in fact, out there?
Well, Don, anywhere, and good evening, and anywhere out there, it's very dangerous. And one of the things we really want to do is, terrorist cells, there's a doctrine to this. And we've seen throughout history since 9/11 that, the number 10 really starts coming into, you've got operating aspects and you've got folks that support them, kind of like a front office, back office type piece. But these people are important, especially when it comes to trying to find out where the link up was, where the money's coming from, where the coordination, where the weapon's coming from. So these people are dangerous, but it'd be great to find them and capture them and be able to interview them and to find out where the links are so we could break this network up, and especially the world network.
So, Colonel, Jim Sciutto just reported, he said that he learned that Hayat Boumediene, the wife of Coulibaly, may have been more radical of the 2 suspects. Are you surprised that she is maybe the more radical of the 2?
No, Don, I'm not. And actually, it's classic. Some of these organizations really, they say they depress women, but women are very, very good. They're very smart. And I think it's a classic move by Al-Qaeda to get more women involved in this. You never look at a woman, especially, with a Muslim woman with a hijab on, with a man, they continue to move. No one really pays attention to them. You see that now with the little girl in Boko Haram. She's a suicide bomber. We've seen other places in Iraq and Afghanistan where they have the burqas on, and they're using them as suicide bombers because our culture, the Western culture, just does not make a woman be that principal aspect of a terrorist, and so we bypass it. It's a great move by Al-Qaeda.
Well, the pressure is on, I would imagine, for French officials, Jim, because how hard will it be to find her in Syria?
Extremely hard. It's a sad fact. That's a loss. She's in Syria. She's gone. The focus now is on trying to find suspects or associates of the known attackers here inside France before they attack again. That's the supreme focus. And, remember, in this country, it's not just this cell. It is other cells, because the numbers are daunting here. 5,000 suspected terrorists in the country. That's an order of magnitude bigger than the problem facing us in the U.S. today. Imagine the security response in the U.S. if you had 5,000 people on your list of trying to keep track of them. Imagine the sense of alarm. And that's why I have to say, just being here in Paris for this last week, seeing how the French have responded to this threat, people still, they're going to restaurants, they're walking the streets, they're going to the office. We saw them out by the millions in that march yesterday. It's a really admirable, brave, courageous response to what's a very real